They say every conflict has a turning point, something that escalates a frozen front line or draws more players into it. For Ukraine and Russia, that point is now. The trigger was a car bomb blast near Moscow. We told you about it yesterday. The attack claimed the life of Daria Dugina. She was the daughter of Alexander Dugin. Many call him Putin's spiritual guru, the brain behind his policies. Both father and daughter are right-wing ideologues, according to some, even fascists. Earlier today, a special memorial service was held for Daria in Moscow. Her father addressed the service. He said Daria had died for her country.
If someone was touched by her tragic death, her personality and her integrity, she would have only one wish. Do not remember me. Do not glorify me. Fight for our great country. Protect our faith and our holy orthodoxy. Love our Russian people. Because she died for the people. She died for Russia on the front line. And that front line is here.
The service is over, but the controversy is not. Russia is accusing Ukraine of plotting this attack. They have even identified the suspect, 43-year-old Natalia Vovk. She is said to have arrived in Russia on the 23rd of July. Accompanying her was her 12-year-old child. She rented an apartment in the same building as Daria Dugina. She also managed to plant an explosive device on her car. So where is she now? According to Russia, Natalia fled to Estonia. Now remember, this is Russia's version of events. Ukraine has firmly denied any involvement. And honestly, it's too early to draw conclusions. The attack happened on Saturday. The case was cracked by Monday. That's simply not enough time to solve such a complicated case. On paper, Ukraine has the motive to carry out this attack. After all, they are on the counter-offensive. But strategically, this attack, this car bomb, makes absolutely no sense. Ukraine gains nothing by taking out Daria Dugina, so the blast itself will have to be investigated further. As for the politics, things have already spiraled out of control. Estonia is now on Russia's radar. Moscow is accusing the country of harboring the Ukrainian suspect. They want her to be extradited. And how is Estonia responding? Their police won't even say if the suspect is in their country. You see, Estonian law protects the identity of people who cross the border. It can only be revealed under specific circumstances. But Russia is not waiting around. They're threatening action against Estonia if the suspect is not extradited. Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said there would be no mercy for those behind this murder.
I believe that this was a barbaric crime for which there can be no forgiveness. And those who organized it, as I understand it, the FSB has already established the facts that are now being investigated. The investigation, I hope, will be quickly completed, and as a result of this investigation, of course, there can be no mercy for the organizers, instigators and perpetrators of the crime.
Despite all these threats, Estonia stands firm. What is the source of their confidence? Perhaps NATO. Estonia is a member of the Western Military Alliance, the NATO. They are protected by Article 5, which means if Russia attacks Estonia, it will be an attack on NATO. That's what Article 5 says. If one member is attacked, it's an attack on all members. So all 30 NATO members will have to respond. And that's one reason for Estonia's confidence. Another reason is history. Estonia has always punched above its weight, whether it's against China, the Soviet Union, or now Russia. In fact, they're leading the European campaign against Moscow. Last week, they banned Russian citizens from their country. No visas, no travel permits. Estonia is now completely closed to Russian visitors. Now, all of this will enrage Vladimir Putin. First, the attacks on Crimea, then the counter-offensive near Kherson, and now the targeted car bomb in his own capital. So chances are Putin will respond. US intelligence reports indicate that Russia is planning a major attack, perhaps on a government building or even civilian infrastructure. So the Ukrainian government has put its people on high alert, especially tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 24th of August. It's the Independence Day of Ukraine. Normally, it would be celebrated with parades and rallies, but not this year. This year, all Independence Day events have been banned. Kiev is putting safety over celebration. This week also marks 6 months of Russia's invasion. Frankly, it's become a directionless battle. Russia is not sure what their strategic aims are. Is it the Donbass? Is it the entire Eastern Territory? There is no clarity. Meanwhile, Ukraine's plan has also changed. Initially, they seemed interested in a peace deal, but now they're on the counter-offensive. They're openly mocking Russia. On Saturday, Ukraine held a special military parade in Kiev. No Ukrainian tanks were on display. Instead, destroyed Russian tanks were paraded. Residents were seen laughing and taking selfies with the destroyed Russian machinery. It makes you wonder, is anyone interested in a settlement anymore? The US is sending more weapons, Ukraine is planning to retake the lost land, and Russia is plotting more strikes. Instead of looking back at the last 6 months, both sides seem to be preparing for another 6 months of fighting. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.